Hi everyone, welcome back to the show. Today we're diving into a question that's on a lot of minds as AI gets smarter by the day. Will it replace our jobs or reinvent what work even looks like? Stay with me because the answer isn't as simple as you might think. When people worry that AI will cause mass unemployment, what parts of that fear are grounded in evidence? And what parts are more about uncertainty and headlines?
So there's definitely some legitimate basis for concern here. We've seen specific job categories get disrupted by automation before, and AI is accelerating that in areas like data entry, basic customer service, and certain manufacturing roles. The evidence shows that routine, repetitive tasks are genuinely at risk. But here's where it gets more speculative. The headlines often suggest the sudden wave of mass unemployment, and historically that's not how technological transitions work. We tend to underestimate how many new jobs emerge that we couldn't have predicted. 20 years ago, social media manager wasn't a career. Now it's everywhere. The real uncertainty is about pace and distribution. Will the transition happen fast enough to cause serious social disruption, or will it be gradual enough for workers to adapt? That's the honest answer. We don't fully know. What we do know is that the workers most vulnerable are those in roles that are highly structured and predictable, while jobs requiring creativity, complex problem solving, and genuine human connection seem much more resilient.
Which kinds of jobs do you think are most vulnerable to automation in the next 5 to 10 years? And what signals should workers watch for that change is coming?
Looking at the next 5 to 10 years, the jobs most vulnerable are those involving repetitive, predictable tasks, think data entry, basic customer service roles, certain manufacturing positions, and even some areas of accounting and legal document review. But here's what's interesting. It's not just blue-collar work anymore. We're seeing AI make significant inroads into white-collar tasks like report writing, basic analysis, and scheduling. As for warning signs, workers should pay attention to a few key things. First, if your company starts investing heavily in automation software, or mentions digital transformation in meetings, that's a signal. Second, watch for gradual task reduction, when parts of your job start getting handled by tools or platforms. And third, and this is crucial, if you can describe your entire job as a series of if-then rules, that's a red flag. The jobs that will remain are those requiring creativity, complex problem-solving, emotional intelligence, and the ability to handle unpredictable situations. So the real question becomes, how do you position yourself on that side of the equation?
In past technological shifts, new roles often emerged. So what new categories of work do you expect AI to create? And who is most likely to benefit from them?
That's really the key question here. If we look at history, every major technological revolution has created jobs we couldn't have imagined before. Who predicted social media managers or app developers 20 years ago? With AI, I expect we'll see entirely new categories emerge around human-AI collaboration. Think AI trainers, prompt engineers, algorithmic auditors, then what I'd call AI ethicists, who ensure these systems align with human values. We'll likely need more people in roles that require distinctly human skills. Things like complex negotiation, creative strategy, emotional intelligence work, and jobs that involve physical presence and adaptability. The people most likely to benefit are those who embrace continuous learning and develop what I call complementary skills, the ability to work alongside AI rather than compete with it. Interestingly, I think we'll also see a renaissance in artisanal and deeply human services. Because as AI handles more routine tasks, people will increasingly value authentic human connection and craftsmanship.
How do you see AI reshaping white-collar work specifically, like law, accounting, marketing, and software? And what does that mean for careers built on expertise and credentials?
The transformation is already happening faster than most people realize. In law, we're seeing AI handle document review and contract analysis that used to require teams of junior associates working hundreds of billable hours. Accounting firms are automating audit procedures and tax preparation at scale. Marketing teams are using generative AI to produce content, analyze campaigns, and personalize customer experiences in ways that would have required entire departments just 5 years ago. But here's what I find most interesting, and this is where I think the conventional narrative gets it wrong. The credentials themselves aren't becoming worthless. They're becoming insufficient. A law degree still matters, but now you also need to understand how to leverage AI tools, how to supervise AI output, how to add judgment and strategy that machines can't replicate. The expertise is shifting from execution to oversight and creative problem solving. Software development is actually the most telling example. We have AI writing code now, But the demand for developers who can architect systems, understand business requirements, and review AI-generated code, that's actually increasing. So careers built purely on technical execution are vulnerable, but careers built on judgment, relationships, and strategic thinking are being amplified by these tools, rather than replaced by them.
What policies or safety nets, like retraining, wage insurance, stronger labor protections, or even universal basic income, feel most realistic for preventing long-term displacement?
I think the most realistic near-term solutions are probably robust retraining programs and wage insurance, because they work within existing policy frameworks. Countries like Denmark have shown that active labor market policies can really cushion transitions. They invest heavily in helping workers pivot to new industries rather than just providing unemployment benefits. Universal basic income is fascinating and gets a lot of attention, but politically and fiscally, it's a much harder sell in most countries right now. What I find most promising is this idea of portable benefits, decoupling things like healthcare and retirement from specific employers, because the future of work is likely to be more fluid, with people moving between gigs, contracts, and traditional jobs. The safety net needs to follow the worker, not the job.
If AI keeps getting more capable, what does a healthy future of work look like to you? And how should education and companies adapt so people are not left behind?
A healthy future of work, I think, is one where we stop seeing AI as a replacement and start seeing it as a tool that handles the repetitive stuff, so humans can focus on what we're actually good at: creativity, complex problem solving, building relationships. Education needs a massive shift, though. We should be teaching adaptability and critical thinking, rather than just memorizing information that a machine can look up in seconds. Companies have a real responsibility here, too. They need to invest in reskilling their workforce, not just laying people off and calling it efficiency. I'm actually optimistic that we'll see entirely new job categories emerge, things we can't even imagine yet. Similar to how social media manager wasn't a job 20 years ago. The key is making sure the transition doesn't leave vulnerable workers behind, and that requires intentional policy and genuine commitment from both the public and private sectors.
Thanks so much to our guest for the insights, and to you for listening. The big takeaway is that AI may change jobs more than it eliminates them, and the people and companies that adapt early will be the ones who thrive. If you found this useful, subscribe for more conversations like this, and share the episode with someone who's thinking about the future of work.